The sun has long since bled out below the horizon, leaving the vast, empty expanse of the American Southwest cloaked in a profound and unnerving darkness. You're out here, miles from the nearest pinprick of electric light, with only a crackling campfire pushing back against the immense star-dusted void. The silence is a physical presence, a weight on your ears, broken only by the snap of burning wood and the whisper of a cool desert wind. But then you hear it. A twig snaps just beyond the reach of the firelight. It's a sound that doesn't belong. It's too deliberate, too heavy for a coyote or a rabbit. You freeze, every muscle tensed, straining to hear anything more over the frantic drumming of your own heart. Nothing. The silence rushes back in, even more absolute than before. You tell yourself it was just an animal, a deer perhaps, startled by your presence. But a primal, instinctual part of your brain isn't buying it. It's screaming that you are not alone. You feel a prickling sensation on the back of your neck, the unmistakable feeling of being watched. You slowly scan the impenetrable wall of blackness that encircles your small island of light. You see nothing but dancing shadows and the ghostly shapes of sagebrush. To understand the terror of the Skinwalker, you have to look past the monster and see the human. This is what makes the legend so uniquely chilling. A Skinwalker isn't a creature born of some dark dimension or a simple beast of folklore. According to the Navajo or Dine tradition, a Skinwalker begins its journey as a person. They were once a member of the community, family, friends, a place in the world. But deep within them, a desire for power festered, lust for forbidden knowledge. They chose to forsake their humanity for something much, much darker. This transformation is not a simple choice. It requires an ultimate act of evil, a profound betrayal that forever severs their connection to balance and harmony, or Hozo. To gain the power of the Skinwalker, an individual must commit the most heinous sin imaginable, the murder of a close family member, sibling, parent, child. This act of familial destruction is the dark currency used to purchase their entry into a malevolent society of witches. It is a sacrifice that imbues them with immense supernatural power, but utterly corrupts their soul, turning them into something twisted and evil, an antini. Once this unforgivable line is crossed, the individual is initiated into a secret society, a coven of sorts, where they learn the dark arts of witchcraft. These are the ways of the witch, ceremonies that are a perversion of traditional Navajo healing and blessing rites. The most famous and feared ability of the Skinwalker is, of course, shape-shifting. The very name, Yi Naldlushi, translates to by means of it goes on all fours, which speaks directly to this terrifying power. But this isn't the clean, instantaneous transformation you see in movies. According to the legends, a Skinwalker literally wears the hide of the animal it wishes to become. They are said to possess pelts of various creatures, and through dark ritual, they can physically merge with the skin, becoming a grotesque, unnatural fusion of human and beast. This process itself is a desecration of nature, twisting the sacred forms of animals into vessels of pure malice. Their choice of animal form is never random, it's always strategic. They can become a wolf or a coyote to move with incredible speed and endurance, allowing them to chase down a car on a lonely highway or stalk a victim across miles of rugged terrain. They might take the form of an owl or a crow, soaring silently through the night sky to spy on a family from above, perching on rooftops to listen and watch, choosing the perfect moment to instill terror. Other common forms include the fox for its cunning or the bear for its brute strength. In any form, they are faster, stronger, and more malevolent than their natural counterparts. What makes these animal forms so deeply unsettling is their inherent wrongness. People who have claimed to witness a Skinwalker in animal form often report that something is off. But most terrifying of all are the eyes. As if their physical prowess weren't enough, Skinwalkers possess a psychological weapon, the power of vocal mimicry. They are masters of sound, capable of perfectly replicating any noise they've heard. The cry of an animal, the sound of a rattling door, the voice of another human being. Not a parlor trick, a hunting tool exploiting our connection to loved ones, a tactic to lure you out of safety. Imagine you're safe inside, doors locked, frantic knocking on the window. You look, nothing there. A voice cuts through the night. Your mother, your child, your spouse. Your instinct screams to run to the door, to throw it open, but a cold part of your brain knows they're miles away or even asleep in the next room. The Skinwalkers' cruelest trick. They prey on compassion and love, standing just out of sight in deep yard shadows, calling with desperation and pain. The sound of a loved one in distress can override all logic. So you find yourself in the worst-case scenario. A skinwalker is outside your door, its inhuman eyes glowing in the dark. What do? The terrifying truth is there's very little you can do. These are not creatures that can be easily dispatched. According to the legends, skinwalkers are nearly invincible. Conventional weapons are all but useless against them. Bullets are said to pass right through them or simply bounce off their hide. Trying to fight a skinwalker with ordinary means is not only futile but incredibly dangerous, as it will only enrage the creature and intensify its malevolent focus on you. The law does offer just one potential method for killing a skinwalker, but it's as esoteric and difficult as the creature itself. The only weapon said to be effective is a bullet or a knife that has been dipped in white ash. This isn't just any ash. It must be the specially prepared ceremonial ash used by Navajo medicine men in their protective rituals. This white ash is a symbol of purity and divine power, the antithesis of the skinwalker's dark and corrupting magic. The belief is that this sacred substance is the only thing that can pierce their unholy protection and deliver a mortal wound. The danger posed by a skinwalker extends far beyond its sharp claws' physical attacks. These beings are powerful witches. Their most insidious weapons attack the mind and soul. One of their most feared abilities is the power to curse victims, often through simple eye contact. To lock eyes with a skinwalker opens a direct channel for malevolence. It can have devastating long-term consequences. Never ever look them in the eye. A skinwalker's curse, sometimes called corpse poison or spirit sickness, can appear in many ways. It often begins as a string of terrible luck. Your business might fail, your relationships might crumble, you could face inexplicable accidents. Then comes a slow, creeping illness modern medicine can't diagnose or cure it. Victims waste away, debilitating fatigue, chronic pain, deep psychological distress. So let's go back to that dark, lonely desert. You hear the unnatural scratching, the mimicked voice, and you feel those predatory eyes on you. Panic is a natural reaction, but it's the worst thing you can do. The first and most critical rule if you suspect you're in the presence of a skinwalker is to remain calm. These creatures feed on fear. Showing terror is like blood in the water for a shark. It excites them. Take deep, steady breaths. Focus your mind. Your survival depends on your ability to think clearly. Don't give in to the primal urge to scream or run blindly into the night. The second rule is absolute. Do not speak to it and do not acknowledge the sounds it makes. When you hear the voice of a loved one crying for help or your own name being whispered on the wind, you must ignore it. This is a test, a lure designed to trick you. Responding to the voice, even to shout at it, is engagement. It's an invitation. By staying silent, you are refusing to play their twisted game. Third, and this is crucial, you must avoid eye contact at all costs. Looking into a skinwalker's eyes is how they transmit their curse and can begin possession. Stare at the ground, stare at the fire, anywhere but its face. One of the most fascinating and challenging aspects of researching skinwalkers is the powerful cultural taboo that surrounds them. For the Navajo people, talking about skinwalkers or any form of witchcraft is considered extremely dangerous. It's not just a matter of being scared of ghost stories. The belief is that speaking the name Anti-Nai or discussing their activities can attract their attention. It's like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. You are essentially putting out a beacon, inviting that dark energy into your life. This is why many Navajo elders will refuse to discuss the topic at all, especially with outsiders, and particularly after dark. This cultural silence serves a dual purpose. On one hand, it is a form of spiritual protection. By not speaking of the evil, you do not give it power. The traditional path is to seek help from a Hatali, a Navajo medicine man or a Navajo medicine woman. So why, in our modern world of science and technology, does the legend of the Skinwalker continue to hold such a powerful grip on our collective imagination? I believe it's because it taps into a collection of our most ancient and deeply ingrained fears. It's not just another monster story. The Skinwalker is a horrifying cocktail of everything that terrifies us. It embodies the fear of the dark, the fear of the wilderness, the fear of the wild animals that lurk just beyond the safety of our campfires. It represents the unknown that waits for us when we are at our most vulnerable, but the fear goes deeper than that. The Skinwalker legend is also about the perversion of the familiar. It takes the comforting shape of an animal and twists it into something monstrous. It takes the trusted voice of a loved one and turns it into a deadly lure. This is a profound psychological violation. Furthermore, the human origin of the Skinwalker is a key ingredient to its enduring terror. Ultimately, the Skinwalker legend endures because it is a perfect story, and that is a truly terrifying thought.